Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary if you're new here, and today we have quite the exciting haul to go through and talk about. If you've seen my big haul videos that I post usually twice a year, it is because I go to a Penguin Random House kind of like friends and family sale twice a year typically. I've got a family friend that works at the warehouse, and so they have these like sales twice a year, and so whenever I can grab a ticket I go. And so I was able to go a couple weeks ago and snag some good stuff. I tried limiting myself to one box because, as you may know, I have practically no more bookshelf space, and so one box was a lot and I went a little tiny bit over. I'm still okay with that, and my total price for my haul was $120, but I did get quite a few books and stuff for friends and family. So the book sale, typically hard covers are $5, soft covers are $2, kids books are a bit less than that, and then they have sets. So if it's like a set over $100, I believe they charge $10 or something for it. I think we've got around 40-ish books here, so without further ado, let's just get into it. I'm so excited, and I am very happy with some of the gems that I found, adding on to the never-ending TBR. I'm just gonna grab from the top, but I do see that a lot of the good books are at the bottom, so please bear with me as we go through some of the books that I am still excited for, but there are some that I am incredibly excited for. So just first that is catching my eye, I have the Brandon Sanderson, what is this called again? The Reckoner series. I have not read anything written by Brandon Sanderson. Why is his name such a tongue twister? I do have the Way of Kings or the Clash of Kings, something like that. But then when I was looking into what books you should start first, that was like really way down on the list. I'm very confused with the order of his books and what people recommend to start first. So, with all that to say, I am intrigued in reading his works, but very intimidated. And I saw this set. A lot of people did have good things to say about this series. I think it is geared towards younger adults or like a younger demographic, but then I was on Reddit and there was like a post asking like, if you are older, did you still like this series? And many people still did. So, not sure what this is about. I know Brandon Sanderson writes high fantasy type series. So, where there are villains, there will be heroes. Where there are heroes, there will be hope. So, I'm assuming some type of revelation, some type of war, as is with most fantasy. The next book I have here is Alice Munro, Friend of My Youth. I have quite a bit of Alice Munro in my collection. I believe I have around 6 or 7 of her different collections. She's typically a short story writer, I think only short story writer, and I've actually heard many great things about this collection, and so I knew we didn't have it, needed to add it to the list. Next, I found both Golden Sun and Morning Star. Is it Morning Star? Yes, by Pierce Brown. These are the second and third books in the Red Rising trilogy or series, but this is like the first initial trilogy. I have not yet read Red Rising, but with the hype around the series, I believe I will really enjoy it. I actually am hoping to read it this coming month, so keep your eyes peeled for that, but I was very happy to find the next 2 books in the series. Then we've got Return of the Trickster by Eden Robinson. I got this for my boyfriend. I will also read it, but he read Son of a Trickster, and this is the 3rd book in the trilogy. I don't even think we own the 2nd book. I don't know where exactly we have the 1st book, but he really enjoyed the 1st book and actually really enjoys Eden Robinson. So I have not yet read anything written by Eden Robinson, so that is also on my TBR. Next, I found Anna Kavan's Ice. So I saw Emma from Emmy talk about this book, and I know she's like obsessed with Ice Fields by, I don't remember the name anymore, but she also read this book and I know she liked it. So I was intrigued, and when I saw it, I decided to pick it up. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Probably going to be a winter read because I don't know if I really want to read about ice right now when it's hot outside. Next, kind of boring, but there's some like nonfiction-y stuff in here. The Ultimate Pet Health Guide. So this is one of many pet books I have. I am the proud owner of 2 cats, so I love reading more about their health and how to better support their health. So I don't have this one yet, and I really enjoyed like the topics that they covered. I thought it was really interesting, and it's a lot of integrative medicine, and there was really good reviews online. So all good in my book. I'm not sure when I will pick this up, but usually I like these books to just kind of look up certain things when my cats are having some type of issues, and it helps kind of put a peace of mind in my brain and a plan, alongside obviously vets, their opinion. Next I have, I guess, 2 kind of kid related books. So I found this. It's a baby sign language basics. I don't have any kids yet, but I do have a collection of children's books and parenting books that I do want to eventually read, and have. So this one I thought was so cute because it is a book full of sign language and how to like learn it and then also teach it to your kids. And I think that is so amazing. So really excited about that. And then I've got the conception plan. Heard fantastic things about this book, so looking forward to that. So the first book here, we've got My Best Friend's Exorcism by, who is this by? Grady Hendrix. I've heard very mixed things about this book, but I really wanted to buy it literally just for the cover. You know, sometimes you buy books because of the cover. What can I say? I love a beautiful cover, and I did want to read this book, but I didn't want to pay $23 Canadian plus tax for a book that I've heard very mixed reviews on. So I'm happy to have gotten it for $2. And I'm pretty sure even if I don't like it, I might keep it because, again, this cover is absolutely gorgeous. And this one, I believe, is like a thriller horror, as Grady Hendrix typically writes horrors. The next book I have here is Carrie Soda's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've already read this book, but never owned it. I've slowly been trying to collect books that I really enjoyed that I don't own. So like a lot of Emily Henry and Taylor Jenkins Reid, I actually don't own physical copies of because I either read the ebook or listened to the audiobook. So I was very happy to see this there. I really enjoyed this book. I actually would probably suggest reading it as an audiobook because the narration was great and there was different voices, and it's all about tennis, so you kind of get like that, you feel like you have like a tennis reporter in your ear telling you what, what's going on through the tennis matches. Oh, my back's already hurting. The next book I have here is also for my boyfriend, and that is What We Talk About When We Talk About Love, stories written by Raymond Carver. Raymond Carver was one of his favorite books when he was studying literature, so that's why I got this. I am also very intrigued in reading this, and it's so, so short. Short and sweet. Next, I'm really excited about this, and I got this book, which is Steinbeck. So this volume has 4 late novels that he was writing near the end of his career, and also I think journals that he wrote, something alongside that. But I've been going through Steinbeck's backlist, and so any Steinbeck that I don't own, I typically do buy because I really like his writings. So I am so excited for this and happy I found it in this edition because I have a few of these. I have one for Ernest Hemingway, and I think I have another one, but yeah, always love finding matching sets of things. Next, I found Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, which is the latest book that was released in the Magnolia Parks series, and I don't know if it's possibly the last book, but I owned the other 4, so the Magnolia Parks 2 books and Daisy Hates 2 books, so very excited to have the last one, as I paid mostly full price for those ones. Some I got on Book Outlet, but yeah, and I swear these get bigger and bigger. Over 700 pages. I am literally reading Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. No, Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home. I'm reading that right now, so slowly chipping through that series. The next book I got is H is for Hawk by Helen MacDonald. I've heard fantastic things about this book, and I feel like it's going to be a tearjerker because it is about a young girl who has wanted to become a falconer her whole life, and then her dad passes, and it kind of just like pushes her to buy a hawk and become a falconer. Any book with a dead parent, specifically dead dad, always gets me because relatable. The next book, I actually have been wanting to read this for years, but never bought it for some reason. And so I'm very excited to read it. And it is The Courage to be Disliked. I've heard, again, fantastic things about this book, kind of life-changing things about this book. One of the self-help books that actually do something. So very, very intrigued. Next, I got Song of Silver Flame Like Night by Emily Wenzel. That's how you say her name. Again, this is a book that I've just seen everywhere, and I have seen like either 5-star review or like 3-star rating for this, so I feel like it's a good probable chance that I will like it. I'm not sure exactly what this is about. I'm assuming there's some type of dragon involved. I don't know if it's like a fantasy, but I do believe it is YA. Wow, that map is beautiful. Next, I got Emma Straub's This Time Tomorrow. So this one, I believe, is... Oh, okay, so... Oh, it's a time travel and love story. And I believe... Okay, and then she travels back in time to her 16th birthday. And... Oh, I remember what this... Okay. Anyways, not about a mother-daughter, it's about a daughter and father. But I have heard mixed reviews about this book. But again, when it comes to the daughter-father relationships, I mean, it just hits home. So I feel like I will um, connect very well to this story. So this has also been on my TBR, I think, since it came out. Yeah, 2022. So, oh, this is a first edition? That's crazy. But yeah, it's been on my TBR since then and kind of just like fell through the cracks because I don't own it. And typically, even if I have it on my TBR on Goodreads, if I don't own it, I don't get to it as quickly as I do if I do own the book. But I mean, that also doesn't go for everything because there are books that I've had on my bookshelves for like 6+ years and I have not yet read it. So the next book I got is Come and Get It by Kylie Reed. So this is by the same author as Such a Fun Age, but I believe this is like a more kind of Mona Awad feel where it's like you just get so confused with this story. That I've heard that this is just a very confusing, like mind-bending story. And I mean, the cover also very intrigued me. What's with the pig? And the colors, just everything. Is this a sticker I can... Oh my god. I can't remove this. I thought it was a sticker. That's a shame. Next, I got actually the last books that I do not own of the Addicted series and the Calloway Sisters series. So we've got Addicted to You, Ricochet, Addicted After All, and Fuel the Fire. I've only read, I believe, Addicted to You and Ricochet, and these were like 3-star books for me. But because I've been seeing the books at these sales over the past year, I've been collecting them. And I guess I really should continue it because now I own the whole series and the Calloway Sisters series, which I haven't started. So very happy to have a full set. They are beautiful covers, I have to say, but they weren't my favorite books when I read them. Wow, you can tell that these were like on shelves because some of them are very sun damaged. The next book I got was Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I saw Isabella from... Oh my god, I'm forgetting her channel, but she read this, didn't enjoy it, gave it a second chance, and loved it. And so that literally convinced me right there to pick it up. I don't even know what this is about. Some type of something. But I'm glad to get a book with pictures. I love me some nice pictures. Next, I got The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky. If you've been here since last year, The Brothers Karamazov was my favorite book of 2023, and I have not yet read anything else by Dostoevsky because I'm kind of nervous to continue with his backlog. But it's funny because The Brothers Karamazov is not one of like his all-time rated books. I don't think a lot of people like it. It's very mixed. But when it comes to like The Idiot and Crime and Punishment, more people rave about them. So I was happy to see The Idiot because I don't own it yet, and it is in the same edition that I have Crime and Punishment in, which is right here, and also his other short story, The Long Roads or something like that. Next, I got The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. I actually own this, but oh, you can't see, I do have a Penguin cloth bound kind of collection going, and so they typically are duplicates of books I already own because I don't really want to read from these. It's more so a collectible item. So again, very happy to see that because here in Canada, this is $27 for a tiny book, but because it's the cloth bound, they are more expensive, so anytime I see them at these sales, I grab them. Next, we've got 3 romances here. The first one is Nora Goes Off Script, which I read, adored, loved it, and didn't own it, so very happy to get it because last year I got Same Time Next Summer by her, the last book sale, so happy to finish my collection of Annabelle Monaghan books, and her 3rd book comes out this summer. Very excited. Next, I got You with a View by Jessica Joyce. I've heard so many good reviews about this book, so I am so excited to read it. This copy was not in the best condition, but I just found it one out of just laying with all other books around it, so I grabbed it because I am so excited to read that. And then next, I got The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I've heard this is a great book as well. I've seen some mixed reviews about it because there is a lot of smut in it, I believe. But I've also seen people really enjoy it. So I said, why not? And I think I read another book by Lana Ferguson. What is her backlist? Oh, The Fake Mate, yes. I read The Fake Mate, which was a, is it Omegaverse or is it just like a wolf romance? But that one was something. Okay. I was freaking out when I saw these books because I don't see these editions of books ever in bookstores here in Canada or Ontario, or Toronto. Just like narrowing it down. I see Melissa from TikTok. Beware of Pity is her handle, but Melissa, she, whenever she's buying books or I see her talking about books, a lot of the time it is from this edition, not NYRB, and they are, I think, all classics, but they are just beautiful, like very simple spine and back, but then the cover always has such a beautiful design on it. And I was just walking around this sale and I found a box that was unattended, so I was kind of looking through it and I found a shit ton of these books. So I grabbed a lot of them, and a lot I've never heard of. And so there was even more, but I had to sustain myself because obviously I don't want to just buy the books based on their edition. But yeah, so I read through them, read the spines and synopsis, and whatever piqued my interest I got. But the first one that I have here, I'm just going to tell you because I do know this book, and that is Stalingrad by Vasily Grossman. I'm currently reading Life and Fate with the Slavic Literature Book Club, and we are doing it like a chapter a day. And Stalingrad is actually before Life and Fate in terms of like the chronological order, but you can read them as standalones. And so I have not read Stalingrad, and I wasn't gonna read this over 1,000-page book before reading Life and Fate because that was like a month before. But I'm very happy to have and own it so that whenever the chance comes, I will pick it up and read it. Next, I will go through these pretty fast because I don't know exactly what every single book is about, as I don't remember, but I will just show you them. So the first one here is Blue Lard by Vladimir Sorokin. It's a Russian book and I believe it's translated. Blue lard is an act of desecration. Sounds like it has hints of science fiction in it as well, so interesting. The next book I have is Other Worlds, Peasants, Pilgrims, Spirits, and Saints by Teffy. I don't know if this is possibly a short story collection. It does look like it, but it's on the back, it says, though best known for her comic and satirical sketches of pre-revolutionary Russia, Teffy was a writer of great range and human sympathy. The stories on otherworldly themes in this collection are some of her finest and most profound, displaying the acute psychological sensitivity beneath her characteristic wit and surface brilliance. So yeah, it is a short story collection. The next one I have is The Uncollected Essays of Elizabeth Hardwick. Again, a beautiful cover. The next book we've got is No Room at the Morgue by Jean-Patrick Manchette. This one really, really intrigued me when I saw it, and it is a crime fiction book with such brilliantly plotted, politically charged, unrelentingly violent tales. Not mad about that description. This next one I think might be my favorite of these books. And I think I saw Melissa has this on her TBR because I was looking them up as well on Goodreads. And this is Grand Hotel by Vicky Baum. Just, it's ugly, but it's beautiful. And this looks like it's basically a book all about this hotel during World War I in the center of 1920s Berlin. So this sounds like it's gonna be all about like people's lives during that time, visiting this hotel. And there's just something about books written about like that time of life and what people were like that really gets me. This next one is also really beautiful, and it's The Chrysalids. I don't think I'm saying that right, by John Wyndham. And my boyfriend said he actually read this book and really liked it, but this is just so mesmerizing. So this book is set in the future after a devastating global nuclear war. Lots of war books. The next one we've got is Butcher's Crossing by John Williams. Again, a really beautiful cover. This is set in the 1870s. Oh, this one is so gorgeous too. This book is called Berlin Alexanderplatz by Alfred Doblin. And this is the great novel of Berlin and the doomed Weimar Republic is one of the great books of the 20th century. Gruesome, farcical, and appalling. Word drunk, pitch dark. Honestly, sometimes the way that people talk about books is beautiful and so convincing. And lastly, the last book of this entire haul is Ghosts by Edith Wharton, which I have heard many wonderful things about. So very, very excited. But those are all the books that I got at the sale. A little overwhelming. And now I need to find space for all these books. I do think I want to put all of these maybe on this shelf. This is kind of my like 2024 shelf. But I do reference that in my reading journal a lot. So I feel like I can get rid of that, kind of put them back in their other places and make a nice dedicated shelf to, you know, have these beautiful covers. Let me know if you've read any of these books. I'm very intrigued, especially if you've read any of these ones from these editions. Let me know which ones to start with because there's just so many that I have no idea where to begin, but very excited nonetheless. So thank you all for spending this time with me. If you're here to the end, oh my god, I don't know, leave me like a book emoji or something because that's crazy. And I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye!
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside beside me. I don't mind when it's just us two.